Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, you guessed it, we're going to be pouring another sink. But tonight, this one's going to be just a tad bit different. I'm going to be using a color that I've never used before, and it's purple. And it's going to have just very, very, very subtle hints of Aztec gold all through it. This is the colors they want on it, so we'll see how it looks. But anyway, I'm going to get all my stuff ready so we can get to pouring the sink. So stay tuned. Okay, let's get to pouring this sink. We're going to start off. I know my mixing container is dirty, but it's clean, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I can open this epoxy. I'd always start out with my hardener. The reason is the hardener is a lot thinner than the resin is. Therefore, it lays out flat on top in the mixing container quicker and better than the resin does. And when you pour your resin into the hardener, it goes through the hardener and causes the hardener to rise up and float on top of the resin. It levels out really nice, therefore you get a good reading. Okay, let's see. This is still hardener here. I didn't have quite enough in the other one. Let's see. Okay. If you're going to be mixing this with a paddle, a drill and a paddle like this, make sure you hold on to this container whenever you mix it, because if you don't, you're fixing to see how thick this epoxy is. It'll actually grab this container, the epoxy will, when you squeeze that trigger on that drill, and cause this to twist. And you're going to have epoxy everywhere. And trust me, you do not want that to happen. You got to excuse my sniffles. I've had a little bit of a cold, a head cold here lately. See, look how thick this epoxy is. If you're going to have too much or one or the other, epoxy versus, hardener versus resin, try to make sure it's the resin that you have excess of. You don't want too much hardener. You really want it to be exactly 1-to-1 mix ratio. But if one of them gets over, make sure it's the resin. All right. You want to mix this for about 2 minutes with your drill. Once you get halfway through them 2 minutes or at the 2 minutes, you want to take your paint stick and scrape the side and the bottom real good to get the unmixed epoxy that's still stuck to it out into the massive epoxy. Okay, now I'm going to scrape the sides real good. You want to make sure you do this step right here. You don't want to miss this step, because if you do, more than likely you're going to have soft spots in your project, and that's not something you want to happen. It just ruins your whole day. Now is when I'll take and pour some out into this container that I got this. Oh, I have some Aztec gold mixed up with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. That just enables it to mix better. You won't have any dry clumps of mica powder in your project. That's the reason I do that. That should be enough. Don't take much. I'm not going to use much of this. I'm going to use just a little of it. You know, you spend what is it, 20, 25, $30 on 8 ounces of base coat for mixing with your epoxy online, when you can go to Home Depot and spend $4 on some black oil base paint and have the exact same thing, and you get 12 ounces instead of 8 ounces. I know everybody can say, oh no, it's not the same, it's not the same. Well, yes it is too. Pretty much exactly the same material. I was curious about that myself. I started calling around, and I got a hold of a company that makes all this stuff. And they said the chemical makeup's pretty much exactly the same thing. So save yourself some money and go to Home Depot, get you some oil-based paint. Okay, let me get my camera set up on the tripod up there above my sink, and we will get to pouring the zinc. Stay tuned, guys. Hold on just a minute. All right, guys, let's pour this zinc. Now, for those of you that know how I do my sinks, or for those of you that don't know how I do my sinks, I should say, I pour this part in one pour. Once it cures, I stand the sink up on its backsplash, level it out good, and then I pour my backsplash. That's how I get my backsplash to match my top almost perfect. All right. Now there's no set special way to do this. You're going to waste epoxy. There's a lot going to go down the drain. Oh, I forgot to show you. I'll show you when I get done. You're not going to be able to save the epoxy goes down the drain, so just give you a heads up front. Don't try. It ain't worth it. This sink's already been poured one time before. I think I've already told you that. Not by me, by the owner of the sink. And if the area around your work surface is clean, use that epoxy that's running off. Use it to your advantage. I love this Wise Bond epoxy for this. It's just a fabulous epoxy. I love it. Once you get all the top good and covered, you want to make sure you want to address your sides really, really well. You want them sides to have good color on them, or good coverage, I should say. I don't know what's wrong with me today. The first time I done a sink, I kept doing this right here, what I'm doing right now, trying to keep that epoxy from going down the drain. I'd done it for so long, my epoxy started setting up on me before I was able to do anything with it. So that was a lesson learned. So don't make the same mistake I made. What have you guys been working on lately? Anything in particular? Any sinks? I'd sure like to see some of you guys' work. Why don't you drop me some pictures in the comment section below. Let's see what you guys are working on. If you guys need any help with anything, please feel free to get a hold of me. I think my email is down there somewhere. Pretty sure it is. Should be. If not, comment and I'll give it to you. If you want to get a hold of me for anything in particular. If it's going to be a lengthy conversation about anything, it's just easier to do it in an email. I've had quite a few of you email me. I don't know what's wrong with my speech tonight. It's all over the place. Let me get a torch and bust some of them bubbles. We'll get to pouring this sink. And that Wise Bond epoxy lays out so flat and smooth. I love it. I just absolutely love working with it. All right. This is how we're going to do this. This purple paint, wow, that's neat. It's all down in the bottom of the container. If you stir it, it fizzes up. Let me see, how am I going to do this? I don't want a whole lot on there. Okay, and I'm also going to use some Navajo white. I know it's a weird combination, correct? I know. I can hear the comments now on this one. I like this Navajo white too. It's a real pretty color. It's not quite overpowering like a regular white is. Regular gloss white, ooh, that color will take over a project quick. I'm not sure. I may add another color to it. I'm not quite sure just yet. I want to see what I got here. I'm not going for nothing too drastic. This is going to be, as he calls it, elegant. We'll see. It's going to be subtle colors. I want subtle. I don't want nothing big and bold and here's what I mean about using the paint, or I'm sorry, the epoxy that's run off your sink. Use it to your advantage. You can put, watch, you can do this. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. I love using it. I use it every chance I can get. That's what I use it for. I'll show you when I get done doing everything else. Let's see. Oh, I almost forgot about my Aztec Gold. Almost. That would have been a bummer. Now, I'm not wanting to use a whole lot of this. This can get very overpowering very fast. Let's see what that looks like. All right, let me look at this. Let me see. Now I'm going to take my heat gun, move some of these colors around, and we'll see what it looks like and go from there. Always fire your heat gun up away from your project so you don't blow any dust in it, or on it rather. Really all I'm doing is just getting rid of all of the straight lines. Getting rid of that fake look. Yeah, that was way too much purple right there. Let's see something. You can add color just whenever you want to add it. You don't have to wait. You can, add color whenever you want to add it, where you want to add it, whatever makes you happy. That's what you do. I'll wait on that just a second. going to add a tad bit more back here in this back corner. I might add a little bit. Well, no, I've already got some there. See, here's where I'll add a little bit just to get it to go down in my bowl some. See what that does. Okay, here's what I was talking about. I don't want to use that one. You can actually put veins in it. Let me turn this off real quick. You can take this epoxy that's down here on the bottom that's got all the colors that you've used mixed up down here on the bottom and make you some veins with it. It's really pretty neat. I think that turned out to be a nice sink. This is the part you get to have fun with. You get to sit back and enjoy what you're doing, making it pretty. This is where you get to be your artistic self comes out. If that's even a word. You just want to make sure you don't drop too much epoxy onto your project now. I think it turned out pretty cool myself. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you'd have done anything different. If you guys like it. You just got to know when to stop messing with it. Sometimes that can be hard to do. For me anyway. Because I love to just keep going. I could just do this all night long. And that's no lie. Sometimes my wife will call me on the phone. When are you coming in? I'll be in a minute, dear. That's what you said an hour ago. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to hit it with a torch one time to bust the bubbles, if there's any left. But other than that, I'm going to leave it be. That's it. I ain't doing nothing else to it. All right, let me get the camera down and we'll get a closer look at it. Stand by just a second. Check this out. Check this thing out. Oh, come on, focus. I hope this camera's focusing. I love it. I think it turned out fabulous. That gold sure does pop on this camera. It's really not that pronounced when you're standing here looking at it in person. Let me see if I can get down close. It was trying to create a few cells. focus. A little bit of lacing effect right here in this gold. You see that right there. It's not going to focus down that close. Just ain't going to do it. Let me see if I can zoom out. Yeah, a little bit of lacing effect right there. And if you, don't do it on camera, but when you're standing here and you're looking at this right here, like see how bright it is right there, and the light gets off of it. But when you're standing there looking at it in person, the color pretty much goes away. You can't see it until you move. Pretty neat how that's working out. There's some little veins that I put in it with that stuff I picked up with my paint stick. All right, guys, let me turn this around. Let me know what you, is this thing gonna focus? If you guys need help with anything you're working on, please feel free to get a hold of me, leave me a comment. And if it's going to be a lengthy conversation between us, I will give you my email or my telephone number and we can go that route. Let me know what you think about the sink, the colors choice. If you'd have done something different, pick different colors, or how you would have worked it. But yeah, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this sink. If I've earned it, give me a thumbs up. If I haven't, thumbs down. That's fine. You know, I can take criticism as long as it's constructive. Hit the subscribe button. It's in your lower right hand corner of the screen. Make sure you do that. Get yourself subscribed. And that way, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I do post a video, because I'm trying to get them out as quick as I can get them out. I'm having computer problems and it takes forever for me to edit a video and then get it put on YouTube. But anyway, I want to show you my high-tech leveling device down here real quick. All it is a bucket. The sink sits in it, and it's a lot more sturdy than you might think, but it's really cool. I'm glad I figured that out. Also, look, got good color on the sides. There's a little bit of lacing on that white right there. I don't know if you can see it. A little bit more lacing right there on that gold. Yeah, I've got good color all the way around. Sure do. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching these videos. It means a lot. The channel's growing slowly, but it's growing. You know, I wish it would grow a little faster, but it is what it is. I think that's my fault for not being consistent on posting. If you guys are just starting YouTube, you ought to check out TubeBuddy. They are amazing at helping you with your videos, helping you with your descriptions, your tags, all that stuff. They walk you through everything. It's pretty good. I'll put a link to their website down in the description as well of this video, as long as I can remember. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. Peace.